What's the deals, my beautiful people? What's the deals? Welcome to Emilio Duran's place, where I talk about and display various things. Happy Thursday. So let's get into it, man. This is an interesting story here, man. Shout out to JLC.org, Juvenile Law Center. So we have an individual named Manuel, okay? So this took place back in 1991, okay? So Mr. Manuel, now a grown up, of course, but back then he was a child, was sentenced to life in prison in 1991 for attempted murder in a downtown Tampa botched robbery at 14 years old. You try to kill someone, you try to steal, you need to go to prison. Now, people would say, well, he was only 14 years old. I don't care. At 14 years old, you knew what you was doing. You knew that if you go in somebody's establishment and steal, that's robbery. You knew that if you had a gun and you shoot somebody, they're going to die. You knew what you were doing. So since you know what you're doing, we're going to charge you as an adult. I don't see nothing wrong with this at all. All right. What I have a problem with is, since he's 14 and he's a minor, where are the parents? The parents also need to be charged with attempted murder and robbery as well. This is poor parenting. We need to start having the parents be accountable. All right. Y'all out here having these demon seeds, and y'all need to be held responsible for creating demon children. Hands down. Y'all out here breeding, and then y'all not understanding the importance of parenting. So now y'all got this demon child running around in the world with good civilians who work hard, pay their taxes, know how to raise a family correctly, and your demon child is out here running havoc. You need to be held responsible. So if the child gets life in prison, you need to get life in prison. I know a lot of people going to say, oh my God, you crazy. Okay, I don't really give a fuck what you say. I say what I say. You out here having demon children, and you're not being productive as a parent, parenting to the best of your ability, you need to be held responsible. All right? So, Manuel's an adult now, and he's sharing his story, okay? He spent 18 years within the Florida Department of Corrections. He says he'll never forget when he stood before the judge after my mother had begged for my life. Your mother need to be in there with you. Why the fuck she ain't out here? Okay. She ain't know where you was at when you was out here doing robbery and attempted murder. You supposed to be in school, young man. What are you doing? Now, don't get me wrong. You don't know what your children are doing. I get that. But come on, man. I might have did shenanigans like cut class, you know what I'm saying? Try to kiss a girl, you know, play hooky, you know. But in my mind, I ain't never thought about, yo, I'm gonna commit this robbery, man, and you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna grab the Glock and I'm about to go in. Man, I'm talking. That wasn't in my brain. I wasn't programmed. I'm watching G.I. Joe and Transformers. Like, where these kids get these ideas from? I tell you, it's poor parenting. They watching shit they ain't supposed to be watching. They listening to stuff they ain't supposed to be listening to. They hanging around individuals they ain't supposed to be hanging around all type of hours. They out in the street doing shit they ain't supposed to do. Poor parenting. So the judge over here begging, the mother begging the judge for her son's life. And the judge looked at me and said, Mr. Manuel, there was a statement made earlier today in this courtroom about giving you a second chance. However, sometimes there are no second chances. So for the crime of attempted murder, I sentence you to life. But Manuel did get a second chance 26 years later, after the equal justice took his case to the Supreme Court as part of his efforts to end excessive punishment of children, which lead to his release nearly 9 years earlier. Well, listen, man, I'm happy for Mr. Manuel. Applause, shout out to Mr. Manuel. But listen, do I feel sorry for him? No, I don't. You spent 18 years behind bars, man. Because you over here committing robbery and attempted murder. That individual that you try to murder, they have a family. They have friends. They got loved ones. You crashed out. You didn't give a fuck. So the judge don't give a fuck. He said, no second chance for you. Life. So you sat in the prison for 18 years. Your case went back to trial. And you got out. Now, you're out here touring the United States, going to different facilities, and talking about your story. That's what's up. I salute you for that. You know what I'm saying? But listen, no tears, no regrets. You knew what you was doing. You suffered, you paid your price, and now you're doing what you're supposed to do, which is spreading the word, giving the information so people don't make the same mistake. But unfortunately, people will, because people crash the fuck out, and there's a lot of demons running around these streets. And if that judge is still alive, I salute the judge. He did the right thing, because there's individuals out here that pay their taxes, they get dressed every day, they go to work or they go to school, kiss their children, kiss their wife, their husband, do the right thing, cut their grass, pet their dog, and we want to feel safe. All right? I don't want to feel threatened. I want to sit in my car and be safe. I don't need no one coming up to me, or going into the store to get a beverage, hit me over the head. I'm getting gas, hit me in my side. I don't need individuals like you, Mr. Manuel. So with all due respect, I'm happy you out. I'm happy you turned it around. But back then, lock your goofy ass up, dog. It's just that simple, man. I got to feel safe. I love me. I don't love you. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Let me know about how you feel. And not just how you feel, but what you believe in. All right? I believe justice was served, and he got out early anyway. See? So things worked out how they worked out. All right? I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Peace.